Hello, welcome to this month's orientation call for the Good Food Network. My name is Lucas Simmons. I'm your holistic nutrition gal, always at the helm here, leading you through some of the content and everything it is that we do inside the Good Food Network. So I've been practicing as a holistic nutrition practitioner since 2014. I love what I do. And this month in the network, everything that we're doing is in deep regard to that nervous system piece, right? What is winter but the season where we go dormant, where we go inwards, where we stay inside, where we go outside and we enjoy some of the activities in the cold, the snow, the rain, whatever, wherever it is where you are. But it's also the season where we tend to that inner flame for ourselves. And the nervous system is absolutely bang on for this winter season. This is the perfect time to be looking after some of the biochemistry behind this very important body organ and whole body system. Your nervous system is that brain and all of the nerves and everything that it touches. What does the brain influence? Everything? Yeah, your brain is responsible for so many different things. Your nervous system and how you perceive how the world is around you has a massive sway in the biochemistry of how your body operates on a day-to-day basis. So a lot of what we'll be doing in today's session is highlighting some of those important things, giving you a little something to think about at home, and I'll give you a little bit behind the scenes of what it is we're doing in the Good Food Network so you can get a good sense if this is something that might suit the bill for you. So welcome, welcome. Really glad you're here. Glad to be landing either in your inbox or here on the YouTube page, or for those who are in the Good Food Network, welcome. This is the Good Food Network is a space that I built as a follow-up after working one-on-one with clients. It was kind of that one place where those of us who need some accountability could have some of those pieces reminding us on a seasonal basis and from a different point of view each couple of months, some of those pieces that we might have talked about in our one-on-one sessions. So it tends to mirror a lot of the to-do work that I name check with clients. Now, I've also seen it as this great spot for anybody who is stuck in the, I don't know what to do, everything is overwhelming. Can you just tell me what it is I need to do because I don't feel my best? I want to know how food can help. That's what the Good Food Network is for. It's for those people who are looking for an in where they're doing a little bit of time each week to learn something new or to remind themselves of something, and then build their worksheet of what they can do and how food can help them move through whatever it is they've got going on. So in the network, we are doing this nervous system as a foundational piece to metabolic health. Metabolic health is the main theme that we're doing for at least a year, if not until the end of time. Because if you don't have metabolic health, pal, there's a lot you don't have. So if we aim to support your metabolic health, now we're getting into the good stuff. So this is, I think of the nervous system not as something separate from food. I think because I work in holistic nutrition, I think of the brain and the nervous system as that soil in which that all of those food pieces we can do can work better. So a lot of the people that I tend to work with, a lot of the histamine folks that I work with, a lot of the one-on-one clients are people who are doing a lot of things already and putting some of these pieces in place, but they're still dealing with some of those bigger symptoms, right? The histamine flares, the low energy. I see a lot of low energy right now. Brain fog. Oh my God. All of us struggling through brain fog, struggling through microbiome issues and gut issues and digestive issues, struggling through poor sleep. It's amazing to me how much poor sleep is absolutely an epidemic, it feels like. And struggles through perimenopause. So all of these things, like the people for whom this Good Food Network is for, is predominantly women, because that's who I serve. It's not everybody, but it is the majority of who I serve, who are doing all the things and still not feeling well, still struggling with those symptoms. So we're going to start with, I think this whole concept of the current times that we live in, we find ourselves in this information gathering stage. And I meet clients in a lot of different places. And the majority of them, when they come to me, they are in an information gathering phase. And it doesn't mean they're not doing the work, but it means they're really keenly trying to make sense of things and trying to get a grasp in their head on what it is they need to do in order to feel better. So, reading lots of articles, following a lot of people on social media, checking out some YouTube playlists, and listening to podcasts, and doing supplements. And I found this specialist who sells all these supplements, and I'll try them all. And now all of a sudden, oh my God, my flare got worse. Or I tried this protocol and it didn't really resolve my issues. It kind of created more. Now I think I can't tolerate oxalate foods, and so on and so forth. That's just a certain example. So, information alone, while I think it's a really good piece, some of what I'm thinking and noticing and observing myself and in others, is that right now there is a different question that is being asked of us. The way that the world works in 2026, we are in our brains. We are gathering information. We are making the lists. We are following what somebody else has said. We are piecing together what it is to be a human in our day and age according to somebody else's lists. Yeah, I'm going to give you more, sure. But where the work lies right now and what the request is we need to get out of our hearts and out of our heads and get into our hearts. And a lot of what we're going to be doing in the Good Food Network is doing some of that work. Yes, we'll talk about the brain and the nervous system and give you that information piece that keeps us in our heads. But then we're going to be doing some practical pieces and recommendations in order to get you into your heart. And when we get you into your heart, now we get you back into your body, and now we get you more embodied. And now it's more than just information gathering. It's information gathering to a certain extent, but then stopping with it and then just getting you into your body. And when it comes to the nervous system, that cannot be underestimated. The more we stick to just keeping you in your brain, the more we're going to be triggering that brain and nervous system to trigger and further trigger that stress response and keep us locked in the stress response, unfortunately. So I am all about letting go of so many things and helping you move down into your heart. And while I say we're doing the nervous system, sure, but we're doing it through bringing you into your heart. And that's going to be the emphasis of the month of February inside the Good Food Network. Because the nervous system does not respond to ideas. Our brain does, but it responds to repetition. Our brain and our nervous system responds to safety. Our brain and our nervous system responds to rhythm. And that's what we do inside the Good Food Network. We help you build that repetition. We help you build that safety. We help you reinforce some of those rhythms so it becomes a flowing state. That's why this month is not about rules. It is really about kind of creating this container to allow you to move out of your head and into your heart. How are we going to do that? Well, before we do that, you need to know if this is something that may suit the bill for you. So let's start with some of the top struggles that I see in my clientele that could be connected to this realm where they need some help. Energy that never really recovers. Is this you? Are you somebody where it doesn't matter how much sleep you get, you don't feel refreshed in the morning? Or you slept well, but you still need to nap midway through the day? You can't function until you've had a little bit of solo time to yourself. I just spent 2 weeks surrounded by people at the whim of others. I've not had quiet time to myself. I've done okay, but man, I like my quiet time. But yeah. Does your rest not feel restorative? Are you wired but tired? That's one of the ways I see it. And the people who feel this, they'll get some really good benefits inside the Good Food Network this month. Number 2, heightened reactivity. Are you this person? Do you have foods that you used to tolerate now suddenly seem like they are a problem? Oxalates, for example, used to think they were fine, and now I'm like, qu'est-ce que what? No. Or are you somebody where histamine flares are becoming more frequent? So where you've got that heightened reactivity. Or are you somebody who can't tolerate stress? You're allergic to stress. You can't deal with somebody coming at you saying, hey, I need this. Could you do it? And you're like, "Ah, could everybody stop asking me, please? Ah." Number three, here's what I see. And this is one I see like all of the time. That tells me that your nervous system is under-resourced. Sleep, sleep issues. Yeah, when sleep that looks okay but doesn't feel okay, actually. So more succinctly here, you fall asleep and when you wake up, you're like, can I hit snooze 75 times or 9 times? I don't feel refreshed. I don't feel ready to take on the day. It takes me a long time to finally get up to speed. Or maybe your mind stays on, kind of locks in that on position, even when your body is exhausted. I used to get this when I put my kiddo to bed and my husband and I would clean the kitchen and then we would have our time and he'd go to bed because he was a teacher, he's getting up early. And I'd have 4 hours to myself till 1 o'clock in the morning because it was me time. Finally, oh my God, I can get all the things pretty sure I can solve the world's problems. Yes. Is that you? The fourth way that I see this that tells me your nervous system is under-resourced is something is off. That feeling of something is off. Maybe you've gone to, why is there a bug in my tea? Great. There's a fly in my tea. Something is off. Maybe you've gone to the doctor, you do all the labs, and everything looks great on the labs, but you still feel like poo. Or tests come back normal. You don't feel like yourself. That's a nervous system that is under-resourced. All of these are indicators. There's a lot more, but those are kind of the common ones that I see in my one-on-one clients. So these are not failures. They're not a lack of willpower. They're not a lack of discipline. They're not, I should take melatonin. They're not because you're not taking enough supplements. These are all indicators that your nervous system is under-resourced and I've seen somebody write this before. Your body is writing checks your nervous system can't cash. Does that resonate, right? These are signs your nervous system needs support. It does not need more pressure. And within the Good Food Network, we are there to take off the pressure and help you really build those routines and those rhythms that will be supportive so you can take a lot of that pressure off. So we're going to start with a little bit of an exercise, like a recall exercise for yourself. I want you to remember something you already know, right? Let's think about a recent night where you slept terribly. I wrote down notes for myself so I could stay on track because I tend to jump off. I'm trying to be more in line. I'm a tangential thinker. Anyway, I want you to think about a recent night where you slept terribly. Was that last week? Is that because you're jet lagged and you came home on a plane and a 6 hour time difference yesterday? Yes, Luca, that's me. But think about a recent night where you slept terribly. Got it? Okay. Nothing dramatic, just one of those nights, yeah? Okay. So I want you to think about, so for example, if it was last Thursday, you slept like a Raj. You woke up 4 times to go pee, or you were up from 3 to 5 in the morning. If that was Thursday night, I want you to think about the next day. How was Friday? How did your energy feel over that day? Were you able to get the usual things you get done? Were you somebody that your coworker could rely on to help with the project? Could you function? How was your mood? Energy is one. How was your mood? Second piece on the next day. Yeah, was it good like this? Or were you struggling to keep it even keeled? Or were you flying off the handle? Did you get hangry that day where you don't usually? Did you get jittery? Did you notice anything else? How patient were you? With others, but also with yourself. Yeah. How was that the day after? Notice what happened with food the next day. If you didn't sleep well on Thursday, how were your cravings on Friday? Did you have more cravings? Did you have tolerance to foods? Or did your digestion feel a little bit more off than it usually is? Like, yeah, usually I can eat eggs for breakfast, but that day I ate eggs and I had like explosive diarrhea 20 minutes later. Oh, did you now? Mm-hmm. Did you have blood sugar dips or did you get the jitters where you're like, I call it hangry, but it can also be a like sort of you feel like you're reverberating a little bit and you need to eat chips or crackers or pasta or noodles or baked goods, craving a chocolate bar, those kinds of things. Notice how your body overall, how it felt the next day. Did you have inflammation? Did you have more pain in your joints? Did you have brain fog? Might you felt more reactive? Maybe you felt more overwhelmed. Do you tend to feel those on a day after you haven't slept well? Does that happen often? Oh, hi. Your nervous system's having a hard time. Yeah. It's not a willpower problem when you have those cravings. It is your nervous system that is relaying back some information that she had a hard time regulating things on Friday because you did not sleep well on Thursday. Sleep is just one of the telltale signs of how your nervous system is doing. And when you don't sleep well, it's a massive drain on your brain and nervous system. Massive drain. So inside the Good Food Network, everything that we're doing is all about exploring how things are interconnected. So when it is a night of bad sleep, for example, what does that mean and how does it show up in the body? And then, of course, we get into solutions so that you can start to put some of those good things in place so that the biochemistry of what needs to work well does indeed work a little bit better. And we talk about frequency of foods, we build those rhythms, we build those routines of what you need to create sustainable change that now quiets everything. Because one night of poor sleep changes how your metabolism works on the next day. It can change how you tolerate food, how you tolerate stress, how you move through mood, capacity, motivation. It can impact how you make decisions. It can impact how you're going to react with others. But that is but one indicator of a nervous system that is under-resourced. That's one night. I want you to imagine, like, what does it mean when you've got weeks or months or years of nervous system that has been under-resourced? What else is it going to impact in the body? One of the biggest ways is histamine issues. That is one of the principal ways I see in my clientele, but that's because that's my specialty. But your nervous system is quite possibly one of the most important pieces to regulating your reactivity in the body. And when you are being reactive, it's telling us that your nervous system is asking for more. And that's why that is where we start this month, not because the sleep is everything. Yeah, sleep is important. But that's just one little piece that's telling us overall the nervous system and everything it touches is struggling. Your body is writing checks that you cannot cash. And the nervous system is feeling it. And now she's going to use her inside voice, letting you know with some symptoms. And then she's going to use her outside voice. So, pal, is your nervous system using her inside voice right now? Or is she using her outside voice? How's that going for you? Yeah. So your body was doing the best she could with those inputs you've given her. I get it. Let's change some of those inputs. Let's really prioritize some of these things. Make it way simpler. And this is information. This it's not something to fix. We need to resource your body differently so that she's got what it is she's asking for. Okay. I want to give you a little bit of a behind the scenes of what it is we're doing inside the Good Food Network so that you can see how it is we're going to be resolving some of these big questions you may have. So, excuse my nose. I was doing well, and then travel and 6 hour timeline difference is a bit of a kicker. All right. So this is everything that we're doing in the month of February. It is the nervous system as a foundation for metabolic health. What is metabolic health? It is taking in ingredients from your environment, breaking them down, making them accessible, and turning them into the ingredients you need for the recipes that your body needs to do a human thing. Sleeping is a human thing. Picking up my cup of tea is a human thing. Making the cup of tea was a human thing. Putting together this slideshow was a human thing. All of these required energy, and they rely on metabolic health. Metabolic health is the output of energy. So being human is a metabolic act. And in the month of February, we're focusing on just the nervous system part of it as that foundational piece to make sure your metabolism runs smoothly. How are we going to support you through this month? Well, every Thursday we have a live session, and there's always a replay available. They're all centered around this nervous system topic. So this week we're doing one on the HPA axis, which stands for hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis. So we're going to talk about stress, cortisol, and metabolism, and what it is you can do to help address that piece. These are all 30 minutes long. Week 2, we're going to talk about polyphenols, antioxidants, and why these are part of your nervous system protection team. We're going to then go into amino acids as those building blocks you need for calm, for energy, and for the function in the nervous system to provide calm, to help sustainable energy stay around. And that last week, we're going to do a massive piece, but getting you out of your head and into your heart in order to make that nervous system and metabolic piece work much better through community, connection, and nervous system balance. So each of these sessions are done live at 7 a.m. Alberta every Thursday morning. They're posted live, or the replays are posted inside the network. So if you can't join us live, you get to catch the replay. You'll have until the end of the month to do that. We also have a 2-hour class every month, and this month in the network, we're doing a class called SOS Insomnia. And when you join the GoodFood network, you get access to this class. You can also just take this class. It's a very small price difference. So it's kind of like you get a bonus when you join the network. You are going to get access to this class for free as part of the deal. So we're doing a full 2-hour class on insomnia. That's why I talked about sleep. So if you said, yeah, I sometimes have hard nights of sleep, Luca, then you can join us in the network and know that we're going to be touching on insomnia from that nervous system piece point of view when sleep won't come or won't stay. And then we've got the foods. Every week, we've got a weekly food challenge. This week we talked about, I think it is pumpkin seeds. No, that was last week. This week's it is mackerel. So mackerel is a super brain food, and we talk about why it's so important. Now and there's a different food challenge each week. I give you ideas on how to use the food too, so you can start to identify, oh yeah, every time I eat mackerel, I know it's good for my brain, so I should have this on a regular occurrence. Correct. You also have 5 recipes, and we've got 5 recipes that are totally in season, really with the nervous system in the centerpiece here. We've got some chicken pieces. We've got a smoked oyster pate, which is an amazing winter pantry kind of food item that can be an easy source of brain supportive foods and ingredients you need for brain function. What else do we have? We have a whole module on seasonal eating and why this is a piece that many people are missing, and how this quiet focusing on winter eating can help resolve so many other pieces. It's one of the inputs of how our body gets information from our environment and how she's going to react to the environment. Then I also provide access to a full class called The Burden of Stress as an extra bonus piece. You don't need to access it, but I give you a coupon if you want it for free. So it's kind of like an added bonus. This class alone is $80. When you join the network, it's $40 for the month, and you'll get access to this. So there's a lot of freebies thrown around. So you can look for this one, the Burden of Stress class. It's a full 2-hour class. We understand how stress actually operates in the body. You will learn how chronic stress and low-grade inflammation are inseparable. You get the basics of the biochemistry behind chronic inflammation. You'll also identify which organs and systems are most impacted. So this can be another way in of understanding some of that nervous system piece. Everything I've got is on replay. Everything that's live gets a replay. And the Burden of Stress class is only replay. So all of the video content is accessible whether you want to join us live or not. So immediate access upon registration on everything that's available. The live pieces, you'll get access as soon as we wrap up and I upload the replay. And you have until the end of the month to access them all. So, a reminder before we go back to jumping out of this presentation, your nervous system does not change through insight alone. It changes through repetition, it changes through rhythm, and it changes through what kind of inputs you give it on a day-to-day basis. We focus on the inputs. We help you set up the routine and that rhythm so that you get into repetition. So it is no longer on your to-do list. It's just how you move through the day. That's my goal for you. I think that's it. Yes. No, I don't want to continue to share. Great. So that is everything that we're doing in the Good Food Network this month. So here's what I want to let you know. I've done all these pieces. Yes, yes, yes. So are you trying to figure all of these pieces out on your own? Are you gathering the free stuff that people share on the socials? Are you still piecing together what it is to try to get through whatever it is you're struggling with, whatever your symptoms are? Do you know a lot? Have you gathered that information, but you're not feeling any changes yet? Are you second guessing food? Are you second guessing supplements? Are you understanding some of those signals from your body? Or are you feeling like something is wrong, but you're not sure where to start? If you've said yes to any of these, here is what could happen if you join us in the Good Food Network and you commit to sticking around for at least half an hour every week. If you do half an hour every week, this is what you could potentially experience. You could have a weekly rhythm that really supports your nervous system. It could help you move out of your head and into your heart. You will feel calmer around food and different choices. You will feel more clarity. You will start to get steadier energy. Your sleep will start to improve. And it doesn't happen overnight, but noticeably over time, the slow and steady, I am part sloth, starts to show benefits. You start to trust your body again because you're actually able to decipher those signals it is that she's sending. So this is not about fixing yourself. This is about creating the conditions where your body can respond. You're not broken. What if we create the right conditions? What if we work on those inputs? What if we work on repetition and what your routine can look like? Yeah, if this feels supportive, my friend, I'd love to have you join us in the Good Food Network this month. The cost is $40. If you're on my newsletter, then go back to the newsletter that just sent you this video because you'll get it for a cheaper discount at $35 a month. If you are a client, get in touch because I have a special former client deal where you can get it for $30 a month. So this is to make it accessible and to be that one place that is a reminder of some of those accountability pieces, to reinstate those routines and that repetition piece, because that's where the secret lies. So there's a 7-day full refund guarantee. If you don't like it, you have 7 days, and it's clearly outlined when you first sign up. You can come in, explore, and decide. And if you don't want it, you get in touch. I tell you how. Respond to any of the emails. I'll take you out at no charge. And I will absorb the $6 that I lose when you do that. I don't care. Because I've only had one person do it because she signed up for 17 things at once. So this is for people who want to move from knowing into practicing, move out of their heads and into their hearts. Folks who want steady support. Not somebody who's looking for a protocol or a to-do list, but somebody who's looking for support to make it become their own. It is not my work, it is yours. So you don't have to do everything inside the Good Food Network. You get to start somewhere and know that you're not alone. So if your nervous system has been asking for a little bit more care, I'd love to see you inside the Good Food Network. Hit me up. Look below where this video is hosted for that, the registration link. If you got this video through the newsletter, go back to that email because that's where you'll find that link. And if you're a client, send me a message. You already know how to do that. I'll give you that special deal for you to get it for that lower price. I look forward to seeing you inside the Good Food Network, and I wish you a delightful February. Salut et à bientôt.